Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone had a great day yesterday. I hope everyone has a lovely day today. Today is Tuesday, Tuesday the 13th of May. And yesterday I went to Strood to go to the doctor's and to pick up my prescription from Boots. I found it quite stressful. However, I didn't lose my temper or let these gang stalkers, whatever they are, make me look a twit. I think I handled it with great resilience. I did not lose my temper. I didn't go into a rage. I just laughed it off. When the car came on the pavement towards me, they go to great lengths to try and get you to look ridiculous and stupid and get a laugh out of you. So they also, you know, you put your life on the line every time you go outside, basically. That's just what it feels like to me. I stayed out for a couple of hours and I was hot, tired. I'm not a young person. It was really hot yesterday. Nobody had any fans on. I was in the doctor's. It was like a steam room. I went into the doctor's consultation room. He had a big fan, but it wasn't on. They had masks on, face masks. When I came out of the surgery, I was sweating buckets. The doctor had taken my blood pressure 4 times on this arm, 4 times, and it pumps you up, pumps your arm up almost till you feel like your arm's going to burst. I felt I was being provoked into acting mad, but I did not act mad. I just acted completely normal, sat there and just tried to get my point of view across. And I know nothing's going to happen. I know nothing's going to come of it. I know I'm going to be stuck here with this crap going on. I know nothing's going to come of it. So I just go through the motions, and then I walked home. I went into the card factory. I got some balloons, got pumped. It was busy in the card factory. There was people everywhere. There was prams, people. Everybody was trying to grab everybody's attention, and I just was keeping quiet in the background. I'm serious. It's like everybody, like I'm invisible, I'm being pushed, trod on and shoved about, and people are just trying to grab each other's attention, start talking, yapping, you know, in front of me, and I'm just stood there in the chemist. It was ridiculous. She must have been talking for about 20 minutes. My feet were sore. I just wanted to go home. My feet were sore. And this elderly lady, right, you know, I don't mind if you want to chat to somebody. Can I just get my prescription, you know? But I stood there and waited patiently, got my prescription, went to Aldi, which was packed. Aldi was packed. There was trolleys. I live streamed Aldi. There was trolleys coming at me, about 3 large trolleys, up and down, up and down, up and down. I was tired. I walked home with a trolley and shopping bags, come home into my flat, and I just, what can you do? What can you do? I started to get, when I get stressed, I get heartburn, so I had massive heartburn all afternoon. And the doctor wants me to have a fasting blood test, and it's early in the morning, isn't it? So I can't even have any breakfast. I've just got to get up, go out, have my blood taken next week. And then I've got a walk home after they've taken all that blood out my arm. Such is life. Fasting blood test. He said to me, "What are your symptoms?" I said, "Dizziness." So he sent me for a blood test. This morning I've got up and I'm just sat up here. It's another extremely hot, warm day, you can tell. And I'm not going anywhere today. I'm not going anywhere at all. So I'm stuck in here, just sat next to the fans, really. Sat next to the fans. I don't know what's going on. Last night I went outside. There's joggers with really short shorts on. It is hot, understandably, guys. A couple of girls giggling. I'm in my 50s. I'm not looking for anybody. I go on the field to walk my dog, not to pick blokes up. Do you know what I mean? I'm not looking for anyone. I'm just an independent woman on my own, happy by myself. And I get it shoved in my face, and I'm not interested. I don't care. They don't sexually torture me because I'm not interested. If I was a younger woman in my 20s and they were tormenting me, it'd be a different thing. But they're not tormenting me. They're just putting their own self in danger, in my opinion. Openly doing things in public, you're putting yourself in danger. So I'm happy on my own. I don't want another relationship. I don't want babies. I can't have babies. At my age, I can't have babies. So yeah, babies are all very nice, lovely, so they start screaming and being sick, and you can't go anywhere because the baby's strapped to you. I've had 4 kids. I've been through all that, and I'm not interested in babies. No, I'm not able to have any more children. Somebody in their 40s who hasn't gone through the whole menopause could have children. I'm 50, I've been through the menopause, I can't have any more children. I don't want any more children. At this time in my life, I want to take it easy, and this is the time where you'd like to go somewhere like the seaside and live a quiet life. I don't want all this. You see, this place is far too noisy for me. It's loud, it's horrible. It's alright for a younger person, who probably commutes to London and has got a job and comes home and he puts his earplugs in his ears, goes to bed, gets up, goes to work. It'd be wonderful. So good morning, everybody. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. Stevie Wonder was born on this day in 1950. His remarkable career began at age 11 when he signed with a Motown label. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday, etc.
Alexa, how old's Stevie Wonder?
Good morning, Crystal. Stevie Wonder is 75 years old.
My goodness, that blind black singer, Stevie Wonder, is 75 now. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Alexa, what's the time, please? Alexa, the time. goodness. Alexa, what is the time, please?
It's 8:38 a.m.
Alexa, what is the date today?
Today is Tuesday, the 13th of May.
Alexa, what is the weather outlook?
In Rochester, it's 15 degrees Celsius with clear skies and sun. Today's forecast calls for more of the same, with a high of 22 degrees and a low of 7 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke? Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
My first time on an escalator was quite uplifting, but the second time was a letdown.
And Alexa, who was born on this day?
Celebrities born on the 13th of May include Robert Pattinson, Jim Jones, Stevie Wonder, Morgan Wallen, and Dennis Rodman.
Alexa, who is Dennis Rodman?
According to Wikipedia, Dennis Keith Rodman is an American former professional basketball player, renowned for his defensive and rebounding abilities. His biography on the official NBA website states that he is arguably the best rebounding forward in NBA history.
And Alexa, how old is Dennis Rodman?
Dennis Rodman is 63 years old and was born on the 13th of May 1961.
We're all getting older. The same birth year as Princess Diana. Dennis Rodman. Diana was born in 1961, so was Dennis Rodman. So Diana would have been 63. 63 years old Princess Diana would have been. It's amazing how time flies, isn't it? It is getting hot. I've got my peppermint tea. I've been sitting by the fans and it's got extremely hot. And you know what I mean? You need to keep cool. That's all you can do, is try and keep cool. Especially when you're a woman like me and you're not skinny, and you know you don't want to show your legs, or you know what I mean, but you're so hot that you have to. Do you know what I mean? I don't like to show my legs and bits, but if it's so hot that you're gonna faint if you wear like these hot covered up clothing, what can you do? It's not that I know, I think I don't know. I really don't know. Good morning, everybody. The sun is shining on my balcony. The sun is we've had extremely warm weather for May. It must be the hottest May in several years. It's, you know, they was talking about hosepipe bans in the future. If it's this hot now, if it stays this hot, it's going to get hotter in the summer, and it'll dry up, won't it? Dry up and make the ground crack. You know, little cracks in the ground, because the grounds, plants, etc., aren't getting any moisture. I've got no plans for today. I really haven't. I live by myself and I can have a coffee on my balcony. I can cook my lunch, sit on the balcony. I don't want to go out into noisy places and hear about bitchy women talking about somebody that's overweight, which happened when I was in Wetherspoons. Just sat eating my lunch with 3 women talking about a fat woman, which I found disgusting. But because I was with somebody, I never said a word. And I had to eat my lunch with 3 women talking about a fat woman eating all the potatoes in the frozen potato bag. And I was eating my lunch. Not only did it put me off my lunch, it was irritating me, annoying me, which these gang stalkers, street theatric actors do. Annoy and make your everything miserable. So I happened to say to my son, I said, is the woman behind me talking about a fat person skinny? He went, no, she isn't. No, she's not. She wasn't skinny. Bitches, aren't they? Absolute bitches. They've got nothing else to do but pick on people. And they're you know, not all that themselves. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
And social media. Lorraine, is this serious? We're rushing into a scandal in the care service. Who wants reluctant workers looking after vulnerable people? You wouldn't do, I think you mean you wouldn't do that in the NHS is what you mean, and you shouldn't do it in social services. Same subject, this comes in from Gordon. The mass immigration in such large numbers has affected British culture. Sam's in Sheffield. Sam, the point you want to make. Good morning.
Morning. Hello. I just think that, he's obviously quite scared of reform. And that's why he's basically announcing this. And I don't think there's any genuine belief in it from his end. I think he's just doing it to keep up with reform.
Well, I mean, 5 years ago, he was talking about legal routes for these folk. Now he's saying they've got to learn the language and making it tough for them to get in. It does seem to have changed, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I mean, immigration can be a great thing. And I do feel for the people that do come over and do want to work and do integrate and contribute to society. Unfortunately, there is a lot that don't. And that's just people. I think people are angry. And you say island of strangers. I think some people do feel that way.
Do you?
Sometimes, unfortunately.
What makes you feel that way?
Well, it's not just myself, and I say this as a white male. I can say that, you know, there's an area in Sheffield, for example, called Page Hall. Mm-hmm. So generally there's a large population, large Muslim community. And then around 10 years ago, there was a large influx of things like Eastern European, Romanians who were housing there, and that caused massive issues in that community. And it's not just one type of race. It's just the vast cultures now and the areas that they're living in. It's just people don't know what day it is.
Lastly, this idea that some of these migrants actively loathe Britain. Do you think the MPs are right when they say that?
I would say a small portion of them from my own experience. I wouldn't say that every migrant that loathes them. No.
All right. We're going to be speaking about that more later, Sam. Thank you. Good luck to you. In the line of comments made by Robert Jennery.
For example, the people who were celebrating the fact that the Houthis had fired rockets at British-flagged vessels, that's completely outrageous. Those people don't believe in our country.
That's coming up in the next hour. Just at 8:46, LBC News headlines now. Dominic Ellis.
A man's been arrested on the suspicion of arson with intent to endanger life after fires at two homes linked to the Prime Minister. The Home Secretary has defended Sir Keir Starmer after he was criticised for suggesting unchecked migration could see the UK becoming an island of strangers. And US President Trump has arrived in Saudi Arabia for the first major diplomatic tour of his second term. LBC weather dry and sunny for many, scattered thundery showers for southern England and Wales, highs of 26 degrees.
LBC Travel, I'm Joanne Webb. There are severe delays on the M25 clockwise from junction 18 at Chorleywood to 20 at Kings Langley. And that was after an accident, but all the lanes are back open. And also all the lanes are back open at the Dartford Tunnel on the M25 anti-clockwise. That lorry which broke down earlier has been recovered, but there are still queues back to junction 2 at the A2. Very slow on the A13 westbound to the Beckton flyover. And that's all down to an accident where one lane is closed. On the trains, Great Western Railway can't run between Bourne End and Marlow. Southern are still suspended between Arundel and Horsham, and London Overground's Mildmay line is suspended between Wilson Junction and Richmond. And also on the trains, Greater Anglian Stansted Express services are delayed via Cheshunt.
This is LBC.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at dell.co.uk. Welcome to Now.
Call Nick Ferrari now. 0345 6060 973 LBC.
The Red Cross is here to deliver essentials to people who have lost everything in Ukraine.
We are here to support families enduring the food crisis in Somalia.
We're here to shelter earthquake survivors in Turkey and Syria.
We're here for humanity. With your support, the Red Cross has helped millions of people in the UK and 190 other countries. Search British Red Cross to support us. Together, we are the world's emergency responders.
Hey, Mum. So you know we met Zara, my financial advisor? Yeah, from St James's Place. Well, she drafted our plan so you can get that bungalow near me. Oh, and Sam, that lovely carer we found, will drop in. And I can bring over my signature shepherd's pie. Oi!
Big decisions call for invaluable advice. Visit St James's Place to find your one-to-one financial advisor. St James's Place Wealth Management PLC is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. SJP approved 19th of Feb 25.
Mickey could try to sell his car privately. Or get it sold today with We Buy Any Car. He could spend days on end trying to sell to a bunch of time wasters. Or sell in a flash and head to the fun fair with the kids. Proper gutted. Or proper impressed. To get a quote in 30 seconds, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Amazon offers term time working to their employees, like Anton, who's home to look after his daughters during their holidays.
Hello?
To him, this is the best sound in the world. Actually, maybe that's the best sound of all. Now that's term time working. Offered at Amazon. 10 weeks off guaranteed per year. Mix of paid holiday and unpaid time off. Conditions apply.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
10 minutes before 9, with all this conversation about care homes, the position of the Prime Minister, the staffing, the salaries, the impact, what's it like to run one? Well, Marie is in Stevenage, and I've got to note that you're an operational manager. Is that right, Marie?
Good morning, that's correct.
How are you feeling today?
Angry.
Why?
Actually. I have 32 staff.
Yeah.
30 of which are immigrants.
Wow.
And I was listening to the previous caller, the one whose dad is who needs care.
That's John.
And he mentioned that he was looking at a website and all the staff are Ghanaian, and surely we could just find British people. It's not that simple. It really isn't. I said to your commander that I have been advertising for a care supervisor, which means you're not actually even in the field. You're within the office and you're doing admin work alongside care work. And I haven't been able to fulfill that vacancy for a year.
Can I ask what the salary comes with?
It's around 27 to 30,000, depending on your experience and if you've got a qualification in health and social care.
Why is it proving so difficult to fill the post, do you think?
According to John, we're just not looking hard enough.
Well, no, but I want the reality from you. You're there. What do you put it down to, Marie?
The staff, the people are not there. We are relying on immigrants to fill these positions. I haven't had a CV that's come through that wasn't from what appeared to be a British born and bred citizen.
Why aren't Brits doing these jobs, Marie?
I still go back down to it is laziness. The care sector is a very hard sector. The immigrants that are coming over here are working very hard. It's a thankless task. It's an amazing job and you have some wonderful days, but most of the days it's a thankless job.
I bet it's down.
And I would say there's a lot of Brits that don't want to do that don't want to roll their hands up and, have to get people out of bed and have to, get them clean, deliver personal care. There's a lot that my carers do, and they do an amazing job.
Typically, what are they earning an hour, the actual carers, Lasting Marie?
So we used to pay above minimum wage, but because of the increase in national insurance, pension, the increasing rent and utility bills, we are now at minimum wage. Ideally, I would want to pay more. We are a medium-sized home care company, but because of, also the rates that we are then able to charge, that has a knock-on effect, but they deserve an increase.
Lastly, briefly, what will the impact of what we heard from the Prime Minister be in the sector, do you think?
It's going to be devastating. We're already getting it left, right and centre at the moment, and that was not needed.
Enjoyed our conversation. Good luck with what you're doing. Marie, thank you, and have a good day. I'm sure it's very rewarding. I'm actually sure it's damn tough what you do in the care sector. Thank you. It's 7 minutes before 9, and let's have a complete change of pace. Now, there are happy scenes for some on front pages of newspapers around the world because one of those hostages was released, the US hostage Idan Alexander. Sadly, for my next guest, that will never become a reality because their son lost his life in that Hamas massacre back in October. I speak of Anna Shapiro and his parents. Moshe and Shira are in the studio with me now. Thank you. Horrific circumstances that we meet, but thank you very much for coming into the studio. I understand you're going to be meeting with some government representatives today. What is it you're hoping to bring about? Who do I start with? Wisely, you defer to your wife. Wisely, you defer.
Wisely.
Wisely. Shira.
We came here and our aim is to talk about, first of all, Anel, our son, our beloved son, but not only of Anel, but also the way to recover, to continue to have hope and look forward to the future. We do it by continuing Anel's legacy. And we think all of us as a nation, as people, we should do the same. We should look at the beautiful people that we lost, at the values, music, everything they created and they left us, and especially for us, Anel, and look on the way of how we can pass it on and continue their legacy. So
now, your son's love was music. And I want to talk to you more about that in a moment. If I can bring Mr. Shapiro, if I can bring you, Moshe, into this, without causing you distress, can you tell the listeners a little bit about the circumstances involving your son? And anyone who saw that heartbreaking documentary, We Will Dance Again, will remember some of the scenes from that. But I don't want to cause you personal distress,
Right.
so only go as far as you want.
It's okay. So, Anel was on vacation from the army for the weekend. So, and he came with his best friend, Hirsch Goldberg Poling. They went to the festival, to the Nova Festival. And midnight, it was Saturday midnight. They got there around 6 o'clock in the morning. They started seeing rockets. They canceled the party. There were like 3,000 people over there. And he called his commander and he told him, I'll come back I'll go back to the base. And he wasn't on the way. And on the way, they started seeing shootings on the way. And the girl that picked them in with the cars, she decided to stop. And on the highways in the south of Israel, we have a lot of shelters from to protect people from the rockets. So they entered the shelter. The shelter is something like 2 by 3 meters. It's something very small. And but then they found there were like 24 people who were already inside. And there were four more people that were added to the crowd of people there, and they were in panic. And I told them, "Don't be afraid." They saw him with T-shirts and sandals, but they said, "I'm a soldier. I'll take care of you. Don't be afraid." He stood at the entrance of the shelter. He broke a bottle of beer, and he was waiting for the terrorists to enter. And we have recordings and videos, and from the inside, the outside. It's amazing what we have. Every moment is documented by the people that were there. Some of them survived, some of them were killed. And you hear him saying, I see 20 terrorists heading the shelter. So 20 of them came with fully armed, with machine guns, RPG, facing them, harmless people. Who
just wanted to go to a music festival.
There was a Muslim among them, others But the terrorists didn't mind. The first man that they killed was a Muslim, so it's not a political thing.
But your son was the one who kept throwing the grenade.
Yes, so he stood at the entrance, and they were trying to hit him with the guns that they had, but he stood very
resolute, very strong.
So they understood that. So he told the people in the shelter, I believe that now they'll try to throw grenades. If they'll throw grenades, I'll try to pick them and throw them back on them. If I succeed, that's good. But if something happens to me, you must continue. Otherwise, we have no other option. And he succeeded in throwing, and then throw the first grenade, second grenade. And what's interesting is that you see in the video that the first grenade that he threw out, it was to throw it as far as he can throw it from the shelter. But later on, he was hitting the terrorist. When he came out of the shelter, you see his arm in the video coming out. You have 2 seconds till it explodes. I mean, he was succeeding in targeting the location where the terrorists were. But then, after the 8th grenade that he succeeded in throwing, you hear him saying in the recording there, "No," because he saw the RPG in front of him. Yeah. And you hear a huge explosion. His best friend, Hirsch Goldberg, lost his arm there. And then the terrorists continued in throwing grenades inside. Mm-hmm. 2 people succeeded in continuing what Annette told them. One of them was released 2 months ago. And he called us, Levi. He called us to come to the hospital because he wanted to speak with us, because he said, yes, Annette saved his life. And he said, when Annette was killed, they all closed their eyes and were waiting for the terrorists. But then you remember that Annette told them, keep your eyes open, and you have to continue. He said, I opened my eyes, I saw somebody bending next to me, and I saw on his back a grenade. First time I see a grenade in my life, but I saw what Annette have done. So I picked it, I threw it, and the moment I threw it, it got exploded. So he told us he saved my life 8 times when he threw the grenades, and after his death, he said I saw my life again. But then the terrorists entered, they kidnapped all of them, none of them, the 5 of them that they saw that they were alive. 7 others hide themselves underneath bodies
to get away. Yeah.
And then they shot the people inside. But we have 9 survivors in Israel, and 1 is still in the tunnels of the Hamas.
Let's move to celebrate a bit about this extraordinary, brave young man's life, and let's come back to you, if I may, Shira. He loved his